Good evening, everyone. The subject that I'm going to speak about tonight is embryonic stem cell research. This is a topic that presidential candidates take a stand on in their campaigns. And this is a topic that I did not fully understand until I took my ethics class here at SLU. Not only did I learn more about the subject during my ethics class, I also was fortunate enough to have a professor for my statistics class that worked in one of SLU's labs doing umbilical cord research. Education is a great thing, and the education that I have the privilege to obtain through the contact with these two classes and the very special lady that was my professor for my statistics class has sparked my interest in this subject. So let's talk a little bit about the history of umbilical cord research. It's only been in existence since 1998, and the funding for the research has only been available since August the 9th, 2001. The basics about stem cells are that these cells have the potential to develop into many different cells in our body. They serve as a repair system for our bodies, and they can do this by dividing limitlessly to replenish our cells as long as we are alive. According to the National Institute of Health and the Department of Health and Human Services web article, when a stem cell divides, each new cell has the potential to either remain a stem cell or become another type of cell with more specialized function, such as a muscle cell, a red blood cell, or a brain cell. Let's talk first about the good things about the research. In the future, stem cells could be the basis for treating diseases such as Parkinson's disease, diabetes, and heart disease. Because stem cells remain unspecialized and have the properties of being self-renewing, scientists are researching the possibility of cell-based therapies to treat these diseases. This promising area of scientific research is called regenerative or reparative medicine. This could become a huge breakthrough in medicine and a very good reason for the research to be funded. Another hopeful outcome for this research is that the stem cells can be used for cell-based therapies. The same article stated that stem cells offer the possibility of a renewable source of replacement cells in tissues to treat diseases including Alzheimer's, spinal cord injuries, stroke, burns, heart disease, diabetes, osteoarthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis. Another argument for the use of the embryonic stem cells can be linked to the difference between the embryonic stem cell and the adult stem cell. Embryonic stem cells are retrieved from human embryos that are grown in laboratories. Stated in the website entitled Stem Cell Basic in Stem Cell Information, the embryos used in these studies were created for infertility purposes through in vitro fertilization procedures. And when they no longer needed them for that purpose, they were donated for research with the informed consent of the donor, thus making embryonic stem cells easier to come by. According to the same website, adult stem cells are undifferentiated cells found among differentiated cells in a tissue or organ that can renew itself and become differentiated to yield the major specialized cell types of the tissue or organ. That was a mouthful. But these cells are not as plentiful in those organs. Now let's look at some of the negative sides of the embryonic stem cell research, and that would be some of the ethical issues that surround the research. Questions such as, where do the embryonic stem cells come from, and what process was used to obtain the embryos? Some are harvested in petri dishes in laboratories, and some come from donated umbilical cords from abortions and full-term births. The basic concern is, does the end justify the means? Does taking donated embryos from donors that hope they would be used for insertion to a uterus and instead using those embryos to grow cells in a dish justify the means? Scientists have good intentions with their research, but we all know that scientists are human beings, and sometimes they cross that ethical line. In other words, when do we classify an embryo as a person, and when do we use the embryo to help another person? For the longest time, I did not understand the issues surrounding this research, and I recently read a web article from the International Society for Stem Cell Research that talked about the official teaching of the Holy See from the Roman Catholic Church. And in this teaching, the embryos are said to be in which the embryos are used in such a way that contradicts this teaching, and I now understand why all the controversy. I still not have decided whether a fertilized egg in a womb becomes a human being, when it becomes a human being. Because I'm pro-choice, I haven't decided that issue for myself. I don't know if I ever will. I do believe that if this research can help and do everything that scientists think it can do, then there is some merit in this research. That is, as long as the end meets the need. In conclusion, this subject is one that I can thank my education for making me see the issues surrounding the subject. I now have an understanding of what good can come from this research and the ethical issues that can cause the controversy. Stem cell research has a promise of good things that can help people, but it also has religious concerns for many people. I can't pretend I know the answers, but I can say that I am more educated on the matter.